Pleasant day. This is Freddie Abando. Welcome to Nation in Motion. Today, we're privileged to have with us the President of the Philippine Olympic Committee, former Congressman Jose Peping Cojuangco. Sir, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Freddie.
Sir, the Southeast Asian Games, we are how many months away from that, and how is preparations going on for the Philippine contingent?
Well, that's December, so you count back. The preparations for all the events coming up in 2013 and 2014, we're sort of renovating. The other week, we had about 200 athletes going through a thorough physical, mental evaluation. Because we are going to embark on a sports science-oriented training program.
It's different from,
definitely,
what's been done in the past.
Definitely. It's a different ball game. Yeah, it's no longer muscle building. It's now strengthening of body movements in relation to sports, and the most important of all is nutrition. That is the biggest, I think, the biggest factor that we will be introducing now. Because as we have learned from people that have adopted it, like for example the British in the London Olympics, that is key. It's no longer just so much fat, so much protein, so much carbohydrates, etc. It's a combination of these different ingredients that make for the good results.
Sir,
and also the timing on when to give the food. You know, it's no longer just breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Sir, when you talk about not just breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but something has to go with that, which is you're talking about the mindset of an athlete.
Well, that's what I told you. The mental. There is also a mental appraisal of our athletes. All of them went through that. All the 200. They were given some kind of written exam, just to see how they are, the caliber of each athlete. And there have been good findings already.
Sir, you made mention about athletes. How big is the size of the delegation that you intend to?
No. This is not the Southeast Asian Games. Like I told you, we are preparing
for the future
for the 3 events this year, which is the Asian Indoors Martial Arts Games in Busan. Then we're preparing also for the Youth Olympic Games, Asian Youth Olympic Games, and then the Southeast Asian Games. These are all in 2013. In 2014, we go for the Olympic Youth Games and also the Asian Games.
So you really
so
have
all of these are all being prepared now. So it is no longer an elite group. It's no longer, let's say, all the medalists. It is a lot of these will be newly discovered people. A lot of these will also be younger people that will be recruited and prepared for the youth games.
Sir, looking beyond the youth games, but just looking at the SEA Games in December in Myanmar, as it is now, I mean, what kind of a delegation are you intending to deploy in Rangoon?
Well, I think we're headed towards a decision like this. Since there are so many games to be played, so many international tournaments to participate in, I think we'll be going for selecting really the real contenders for athletes, the contenders for different events.
So it's no longer size of the
competition? No.
It's more quality.
It's all in that direction, because we have to see whether this new system of conditioning is really working or not.
So that means, sir, if they don't make good in the first two stages of the preparation for the
So
Southeast
then-
Asians,
then-
they could not qualify
Yes,
for
yes. Well,
Rangoon.
But I'm talking about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they'll be undergoing an appraisal every 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And I've announced it to the different sports leaders of the National Sports Association and even to the athletes, that we will be very, very strict.
Mhm.
They cannot comply with the conditions. That doesn't mean they're out of
Yes, sir.
the training, but they will be out of this type of training.
Sir, you made mention about younger members of the national team. In the past, we've seen an aging Philippine team. I mean, is there going to be an age requirement of to be qualified for that?
Yes, the age requirement will be dependent on the age limit for the youth games in 2013 and the Olympic Youth Games in 2014.
Mhm.
See, we thought all the while that it was all 18 and under. But many sports associations are thinking of 16 and 15, you know.
Mhm.
So we're reviewing the age limits as declared by every international federation, and we will recruit athletes in that direction.
Sir,
That's the most difficult because, as you know, we have a lot of athletes coming from the provinces.
Mhm.
And naturally, when you talk about, you're recruiting somebody, the age limit is 15. You're recruiting somebody 14 this year, you know. And there won't be too many parents would be willing to
part with their kids.
to send their kids all
Yeah.
by themselves, you know, and even the kids themselves. So we're looking in that direction. Even in studies, I've spoken with different groups. In fact, we had a guest here from Australia who adopted some kind of curriculum for the athletes. They also want to introduce that here and help us. I've talked to the Secretary of Education, and he told me that they will give us all the assistance possible. I've talked to several presidents of colleges and universities whether they can allow us to have home studies for these people. Because definitely, all these athletes, young and old, will be quartered. And the time involved in training will be such that there won't be too much time, or there won't be any time for classes.
Sir, is the size no longer important for the delegation? What is important is the quality of athletes, so you see to it that our money is well spent to ensure that you produce results not only for the short term, but for the long term.
Well, this is my view on that, it isn't really that we were careless or we didn't really take care and only select the real potential winners, or gold winners. But it was really basically partly our fault. We conditioned them, we trained them in a certain way that is already obsolete. That's why we have a lot of bronze and silver.
So that's a wake-up call. There was a wake-up call.
Well,
Basically,
yes,
I mean-
yes. That's why we're good in the first round, we're good in the second round, we're good in the third round, but we fail in the fourth round, And this is basically all because of two things. It's physical and mental. Mental in the sense that they might not be under pressure. Yeah, but more important, I think, is because we did not give them the basic foundation to be able to carry on for the length of time. Don't forget, sometimes these athletes have to compete twice in one day,
Yes, I know.
And when you do that, under this new concept, there are certain drinks or or food that they'll be given so that they will be just as strong on the second
Sir,
leg.
yeah, as a final question to you, sir, is that you made mention earlier, this is going to be the basic foundation of what the future of Philippine sports in terms of how we prepare our young kids to compete internationally.
Yeah.
Do you think this is sustainable in a sense that you're planting the seeds that everybody will have to learn to live with this new system?
Well, I think I have 12 more years to go.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to prove that this is it, so that without having to convince people, they'll just adopt this.
Thank you, sir, for joining us this morning on Nation in Motion. That was former Peping Cojuangco, the president of the Philippine Olympic Committee, discussing a new way of training our athletes for international competitions. For Nation in Motion, this is Freddie Abanto. A pleasant morning to all.